DeFi.
Yo, Blaine, you mad it?
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Isha, stick it in the boardroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Isha, stick it in the boardroom. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Sticking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the front, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, not the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. Should stick it in the boardroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Isha, stick it in the boardroom.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to EMP.Money. This is our daily live AMA and Detonator rollover event. My name is AJ. I'm the team lead here at EMP, and I'm joined by my co-host with the most, Bull Gates. Bull, how are you today, brother?
Hey, really good, really good. We're super caffeinated and ready to go. I don't encourage anybody to over caffeinate, but get stimulated, get excited for the detonator and all the stuff that's happening here at EMP. So let's roll, buddy.
All right, awesome, Bull. Yeah, man, we've been, you and I both have been running on fumes lately. Not a lot of sleep, but that is the price we pay being in crypto. So, yeah, bear with us. This AMA might go off the rails a little. But first of all, I just want to say real fast, shout out to DeFi Proof for the intro video to all of our AMAs. He did that video for us about a month ago now, and that is our intro music and our intro video. He's an amazing hip hop artist that specializes in crypto content. So I think we have his link in the description. If not, type in DeFi Proof. Go give him a follow and show him some love. But speaking of content, this is the content AMA. Lots of alpha for everybody today in regards of content creators. So I've been really hitting the pavement over the last 2 or 3 days, scheduling a whole nother round of AMAs and YouTube coverage. We are really ramping up our marketing with our new UI launch. So my alpha today is in respects to all of that. I had an awesome interview with Jonathan Seller today. That will be airing live tomorrow. And we have set a tentative date for the new UI launch. Again, I will do a full announcement and countdown timer as soon as we have it finalized. But we're shooting for July 27th. That is 1 week from today. So we're wrapping up beta testing now. The VIP and Army will have early access to the UI. Any YouTube creators that want to do some coverage for us will also have early access to the UI, and then we'll do a huge marketing push from the 27th on with the new UI. Hopefully by then we're recovered PEG or at least close. And we can really hit it hard. So again, all of you listening to this call, be prepared for that. Pull out all the stops, shill the hell out of EMP from the 27th on. So really exciting stuff in the pipeline. I have another awesome interview airing, I think tomorrow as well. with Axie Explained. He is one of the premier Axie Infinity YouTubers. That is an online game on the play to earn game, and so we sponsor his channel, and we did an awesome interview getting people exposed to EMP. So there's a lot in the works, and again, the new UI is spectacular, and that will be a whole nother round of videos of people commenting and updating their content based on that new UI. So we're really trying to build the hype over the next 2 weeks. And then once the UI is live, the week after that, we will also have upgrades to Detonator launch. So we have about 2 or 3 weeks of nonstop hype coming. The third thing is our ETH staking contract will be up for renewal on deposits or compounds. That window opens every 3 months, and there'll be a 7-day window that you can contribute or compound if you're already in. And we anticipate that filling up really fast because we have absolutely been able to secure that 19% return. The contract is solvent. Everybody's getting paid, and everybody's going to be happy. So, yeah, shout out to the team and everybody involved in putting the math together on that ETH contract, and all of you that participated. I mean, you got 19% more Ethereum while the market imploded. So you're welcome. So yeah, Bull, what do you think, man? Some really awesome stuff coming the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's awesome because right, it's the easiest and cheapest way to invest in your investment here and build your ecosystem. And I did say your ecosystem because you're all owners of it. When fresh new things launch on the platform, it's just another reason for every YouTuber that's covered EMP to do an update video, and it's just another reason for you to go over to their channel and talk about EMP and answer questions that anybody in that channel might have. Always, be courteous in the channel. Don't chill. But I think we all know how to act like adults here, and sort of treat this like a business, because we're all business owners of this ecosystem. So just get out there and we'll always try to link up who's got new videos out, and then hop in those channels and then help the people out like everybody helps out every new person here and existing people. So just keep doing what you're doing, just in other different mediums, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely, Bull. And I would encourage all of you as well. If you have a favorite YouTuber or Twitter influencer or Instagram, person you follow, please tell them about EMP. Again, we're not looking for, fake followers and stuff like that, but if it's truly genuinely someone that you follow that puts out great content, and you would like to see them cover EMP, make sure you're helping us get in front of the right people. Again, we have a whole round of new marketing coming. So that's really super exciting for the next 2.5 weeks. So yeah, awesome. I do have a few things I want to go over as far as clarifying, and then we can take some questions. I saw a fairly long thread on a older YouTube video in regards to nodes. So I think there's still a lot of confusion around the APRs that are generated with nodes. And so let me give a high-level overview and then address what the concern was. So our nodes at EMP are very, very different than other node protocols and even node projects and other seigniorage protocols. So the contract basically rewards you 400% on your EMP that you've deposited, 400% ROI, and every node, no matter what the size, rewards you 400% over time. Now, the larger node that you get, Joe PV Trader did an awesome job giving this analogy, where you can think of nodes as race cars, where everybody gets to the finish line. Eventually, if you're in a race, and that is your 400% ROI, but the larger nodes that you buy, the faster you're able to ROI. So in turn, that gives the larger nodes a higher APR. And so this is fair for the ecosystem. Again, we're not giving unfair advantage to larger purchases or whales. Anybody can ROI 400%. It's just a matter of time. So that's the overall gist of how nodes work. We always say, you know, never to ape into nodes only. I think a lot of people don't understand our ecosystem, and they think getting into nodes is helpful. And again, that's not to say nodes are bad, but nodes are an amazing way to help you grow your LP. So we have a whole video on that as well, on how to utilize nodes more efficiently, and what to do with that EMP that you're generating from nodes. Um, so I don't really want to go into all that because we've done it over and over and over, but this is more about the economics of nodes. If you have questions about that, again, I'm happy to elaborate later if you'd like me to. But all that being said, node emissions, our nodes are not inflationary. So typically with node projects, you know, they mint their native token to be able to pay out rewards, and it creates a negative cycle of the token value basically going to zero, because the only way to take profit is to sell the native token, and eventually there's not enough new buying pressure that the token goes to zero. But with EMP, the EMP rewarded in nodes is already EMP that's in our ecosystem, and we have a very awesome algorithm that calculates how far above or below peg we are. And that is what the node emissions are based on. So I'm happy to provide that calculation if need be. But really, I think what people get confused on the most is why the APR is continuing to go down. And the short answer is not only are we below peg, but because we're below peg, there is no new EMP being entered into that pool. So when we have a boardroom print, when we're above peg and the boardroom is printing, a portion of those prints go towards the node contract. So that is why nodes are sustainable. But because we've been below peg for, 40 days or whatever it's been, obviously people are still selling EMP and claiming EMP from their nodes, so the APR is dropping. But once we recover peg, the APR is going to shoot up dramatically, especially when the boardroom prints are feeding the node pool as well. So it's really an amazing system that is focused around sustainability. And again, I mean, would you rather see your APR nodes go down and then go back up, or would you rather be in a protocol that just inflates their node emissions to infinity to keep up with the APR, but then you're never able to take profit anyway? So those are the two options. We feel like we have a much better option in the sustainability of what we've created. And so it's been very helpful with us maintaining PEG as well, because there's about $5 million of EMP that's locked into the node contracts, and that EMP is not able to be dumped on the market all at once. So it's very, very helpful, and I just wanted to clarify that. I don't know, Bull or Joe or Matu, anybody that is more math oriented, you want to elaborate on that?
I'll just throw something out there really quick. So, you said that it's, excuse me, it's not inflationary or new EMP that's in the system. It's the pool of EMP that was already created. So if you can imagine, there's a pool in there, and as new people buy nodes, that is EMP that is also put in the pool. But
Correct.
as more purchasers come in, what ends up happening is that APR is dynamic, and to meet the requirements of everybody's node emissions, because no new EMP is being put into, being fed or inflated or created. The existing APRs have to drop to meet, that new demand. So ideally, we of course, everybody wants to be above peg, but More importantly, and the future of DeFi is sustainability. It's not outrageous APRs of 1 million APR or anything like that. It's, it is the ability to sustain something long term. And you build upon the idea of sustainability, not of hype and flashiness, and that's the great thing is nobody that watches market conditions, nothing continually goes up and up and up and up and up and up. We see it in the world. Markets go up and down, prices go up and down, and it's the same with APRs and the nodes or anywhere else. It is a natural market cycle based on supply and demand. Totally. And so we'll always see that up and down action. And I would just caution everybody, when you see something going up and up and up, at some point it will come down, because that is just the nature of how a market works. Just real simple, just it's an up and down, just like a wave. We don't see, that's why we often use the term, like a market wave or peg wave here, because no wave is perpetual. At some point, it runs out of energy, and dissipates, and then a new wave starts. And so you're always going to see up and down. It doesn't matter if it's sound or light. It's, waves eventually extinguish.
Absolutely, Bull. And yeah, and two other things I wanted to elaborate too, and then anybody from the army can chime in here. Like Bull said, the other way to increase APR is through new node purchases, because that new EMP entering the pool will eventually be able to pay out, the APR, or have a larger pool balance to pay out higher APRs. So if you're not happy with the APRs you're getting in nodes, then I would say either buy more nodes with the EMP that you're having emitted, or just stop selling EMP. I think that, again, that's another thing. Nobody likes to hear, don't sell EMP. I know that we do our best not to really say that, and show you why it's better for you, and make more money in the long run, rather than telling you what not to do. But it really boils down to that. I mean, if people were not selling their EMP from the nodes, and were utilizing it to build LP, or to buy more nodes, and you don't want to compound your problem either. So if you don't have enough ESHARE emissions to go into nodes, compounding can be tricky as well. But the long story short is, you're still having that exposure to Ethereum indirectly, because EMP is fractionalized ETH, and so a lot of people bought nodes at the height of the market, and now, again, I understand it sucks. Node prices are down, EMP is down, ETH is down, but now is the time to buy nodes again, or to DCA, because on the way back up, which we've seen over the last few days even, your nodes are going to become way more expensive, and the EMP that is being emitted is also more expensive. So again, I mean, nodes are not the first play you should make in the ecosystem, and I think that's kind of an unintended consequence of it being into nodes. But once you're in nodes, there is no other better way of being able to produce more LPs than utilizing the strategy that we've talked about many times of pairing your ESHARE emissions, selling those for ETH, and then using the node EMP to build your LP position. You essentially are farming at half price at that rate. So yeah, again, I know it was a mouthful, I know it was a lot. I'm happy to elaborate more, but I don't know. Joe, are you there, brother? I don't know. Or Manchu? Anybody that's a little more math oriented, you want to elaborate?
No, I think you did an excellent job. I mean, it really comes down to, using those eShare emissions to make LPs, like you said, at half price, or just making LPs, 50% faster or even higher if you go with a Giga.
For sure.
And if you're in a position where you're doing really well and you have a lot of LPs in the farm, and you're zapping them and taking profits, and you don't have a node, there's really no better way than help peg than buying fresh EMP, and that's what buying a node does. So if you don't have a node, don't be afraid to buy one. I mean, like AJ said, it's fractionalized ETH. That's what EMP is. So you're buying Ethereum at a discount now. And, say what you will about the APR, but 247% on fractionalized Ethereum is nothing to sneeze at. That
Totally.
is still amazing to get that kind of APR if you go with, like, say, the Giga, but even the other ones pay extremely well, and you'll be well rewarded in the long time. If you're already heavy in the nodes, like AJ said, you can save those earnings to get another node until you can kind of balance out. You can also buy EBonds. EBonds are a little bit, put in the background, but they are also excellent because once we get above peg, the higher we go, the bigger the premium is. So it's not just holding EMP and selling it and say, well, I could have just kept it in my wallet. Once we go above 1.1, you're going to get the price appreciation plus a little bonus on top. So I myself have compounded some nodes, and I've also thrown some into EBonds. But nodes are definitely an excellent complement. It's just the people that buy it straight out and then are stuck with the CMP, and now they kind of block themselves into a corner and say, well, what do I do now?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
anything can be fixed.
it's a side dish. It's not the entree, right?
There you go.
There you go, Bull. Perfect. Again, man, Bull with the analogies. We always say that EMP is the entire dinner plate, not just a fork of some other seniors protocol. So that plays into that narrative too, Bull. It is. It's the appetizer, not the entree. But yeah, go ahead, LA.
I'd love to chime in too, just from a
Please.
different kind of angle, because you all did such an amazing job at doing kind of the math side of things. I just wanted to say, not only related to node APRs, but I think it really comes down to treating ourselves and really fully looking at ourselves and feeling like each and every one of us are truly an owner of this protocol. And it's easy to sit back and hear it said, but not really truly feel that way or see yourself that way. But if you see yourself that way, your actions are going to be a lot different, and your feelings are going to be a lot different. And we all have a certain amount of energy and time in every single day. But someone who really sees themselves as an owner of the protocol is going to use that time to make themselves an absolute expert in the protocol so that they can help teach others how to do the right things that are going to help us get back to peg as quickly as possible and take really good care of the protocol. Someone who isn't able to connect with that feeling yet might sit back and wait for others to do it for them. So I really want to encourage everyone to try to do whatever you can to connect with that feeling. We truly are all owners of this protocol, but we have two options. We can either use our time and energy to complain about things that we're unhappy with or ask when peg, or we can do something about it and all work together as a team, right?
Totally.
Obviously, asking questions is totally different from complaining. I'm not saying don't ask questions, always ask questions, but we can also become experts and help each other keep a downline of experts who can all help each other really, really learn how to take care of this protocol so that when we get huge, we can keep getting bigger and bigger and all feel like owners of the protocol. And
Absolutely.
those actions will reflect that, basically.
Yeah, LA, no, you're 100% right. And again, I think people, we get inside a little bit of an echo chamber here because all of us are here day in and day out. There's between 40 and 80 people in the AMAs that are here every single day, and it may feel like, man, let's get this momentum back. And I think over the next 2 weeks, again, not financial advice, but I think with the market recovering, again, I mean, we were not immune to any of these market conditions. The fact that we were able to survive one of the largest bear markets and market meltdowns in crypto history is a testament to not only our community but also the economics in the protocol. So again,
Hey! I gotta throw this in there. We
yeah,
didn't just survive; we're thriving.
totally, Bull.
So
Thriving.
where other ones are just crawling, trying to make it, just make it.
Totally.
I think we're thriving. I'm like the community is resilient. Amazing, right? Like we said 2 days ago is the 6-month anniversary, and I said the 6-year anniversary is iron, right, for durability. And that's what this community is. It's durable, it's resilient, it's strong. And so we're thriving, in the face of all this adversity. So yeah, shout out to everybody in the community.
Yeah, absolutely, Bull. And we will get there. I mean, we only have about 3,500 users in Detonator. I mean, we could easily see that at 10, 20, 50,000 people over the next few months. So, and the point is that we're laying the groundwork now during, again, the bear market, even though we're still making money here, especially if you're allocated properly. But just imagine not only the new volume coming in as one of the top projects on BSC, but literally the industry leader with exposure to Ethereum. And that was one last point I wanted to make. So, we saw Voyager and Celsius, file bankruptcy and have tons of mismanagement with their funds. I mean, they were a centralized service, having full custody of your crypto, doing whatever the hell they wanted with your crypto behind the scenes, and they were offering what 20% a year in returns, maybe 40% at the highest point. I mean, we almost offer that amount of the gains within 1 month if you're allocated properly. So, and all of our ecosystem is run through smart contracts where you own your own keys. You can see everything on the blockchain transparently. And so once the normies, I call them normies, or again the noobs of crypto, or even people that may be familiar with crypto, just don't know that we're here yet. Once we start getting to the larger audience and showing that we are best in class for Ethereum gains and exposure, and maintaining exposure, I mean, again, we can blow the doors off. So I'm bullish as ever. And again, this wasn't a rant to say, why we're still, killing it, but it was mainly just to, again, give everybody a little bit of perspective on everything. So yeah.
Oh no, man, I'm all caffeinated. This is a rant session, baby. We are,
Let's do it, Bull.
we're yeah, man. No, we're thriving. Like seriously, like just look at how this platform is. And I read an article the other day about Celsius, and Celsius's lawyers are arguing in court that everybody that deposited on there gave away the right to their crypto. And where you said not your keys, not your crypto, that literally is what they're saying was in their terms of service. Here, completely different. You are not lending your money or putting your money on this platform so it goes somewhere else so that it can be lent out or leverage traded, whatever you want to call it. It stays in this ecosystem and you own it. You are your own, a little farm and part of the economy. And that is the huge difference between this type of protocol and most everything out there, is that you are the one building here. It is yours. You have the keys to your tractor, so to speak. And you're doing the farm, you're building the economy, you're making, all the decisions here. Somebody else isn't making the decision what to do with your money. You are. And that is a tremendous difference. And that is what crypto is and should be, is your keys, your kingdom, your farm, your decisions, your choices, not somebody else's, 100% entirely yours. And so when, Macho has a great saying for this, the system is reactionary. It just reacts to your actions. If you do not like the system's reactions, change your actions. And that is really, really powerful because it just proves that you every decision you make here, how there is a reaction to that. And so if you don't like that reaction, all you have to do is change your actions. And, this is a really an on or an off situation where I've said in the past, I don't talk about what if, I only talk about what is, because what if is a million different things. What is only two choices: do or don't, yes or no. That is really simple. That streamlines your decisions and makes your life easy. So you can do or you can don't. But those are entirely up to you how you want to build your kingdom.
Awesome, Bull. Yeah, man, I couldn't agree more. So yeah, hopefully that clears up a lot of why we say the things we say.
Hey Jay,
APRs. Hey, Jesse, I was gonna say I saw
let me
Jesse's hand up. Let's hear it, bro. Jesse.
yeah yeah let me touch on the nodes for a second, because like you said, I'm sure there are a lot of people that aped into the node situation, and they have themselves in a situation now. If you're heavy in nodes and that's the way you enter the system, and there's only a couple of ways out of this problem, and it's either you bring in fresh capital to pair that, to buy Ethereum to pair that with the EMP, or you bring in fresh capital to build your farm to emit shares so that you can sell for Ethereum to pair with your EMP. If you don't have those options, and I'm sure there are people that are here that went into nodes and they're producing too much EMP, and they don't know how they're going to get fresh capital to get out of this situation. Do not just say, well, fuck it, I'm screwed. Let me just sell my EMP. I fucked up. If you did do that, at least take that EMP to where, sell half of it for Ethereum and pair it up. Because at the very least, you're in a bad situation. You're at least deep into liquidity, and you start to produce ESHARE for your future EMP coming out of that node. So, you minimize the damage. If the damage is already done and there's no way for you to bring in fresh capital, then you want to minimize the damage, at the same time strengthening the protocol and strengthening your ownership in the protocol.
Well said, Jesse. For sure, bro. Yep, and I agree 100%, especially now. I mean, everything is really has a much larger effect as far as selling EMP when we're below peg. But yeah, I mean, if we can recover and, the ecosystem is healthy, again, the worst thing you can do is dump EMP. So the second best thing would be, again, to use that EMP and at least take half to create the LPs. But again, I mean, we have so many resources in the community that we can help you one-on-one really put together what we call our infinite money loop. And that's what Jesse was just saying about taking your ESHARE emissions and turning that literally into an EMP printer. So yeah, I mean,
Right. And if anybody if anybody isn't in nodes yet, make sure you understand that infinite money loop before you actually get into them. And you can, I mean, we say it all the time, we explain it all the time, but you always could just ask, and it'll be explained to you in the simplest way possible.
for sure,
But I just wanted to touch on the node situations, because because of the way nodes are, and because everything was node crazy for a while. I know there's a lot of people that probably jump into the system and go node crazy. And one more thing I wanted to touch on, since we keep talking about the price of Ethereum, and what this is, the node payout is with the fractional ETH, and what the value of it can go up. It's always important to remember the end goal is to end that money in the farm. The end goal is to end with the maximum amount of LPs you possibly can get. We want the value of Ethereum to skyrocket, because this is just going to make your farm position really big. Whether it's the detonator or however you plan on obtaining the LP, the infinite money loop, or whatever it is, in the end, if you're doing a 6-in-1 strat, you're coming out of the detonator into the farm, you want the value of Ethereum to skyrocket, not because you're going to take profit that way. You know what I'm saying? You're never going to want to sell your EMP. This is it's a utility token. It's only pegged to that price. And the exciting part is that is pegged to that price is because, imagine being in a farm where, the boardroom's printing, ESHARE is skyrocketed high, so the APR is really healthy in the farm, and then all of a sudden the price of your farm skyrockets. Then the value of your ESHARE emissions is going to skyrocket, and that's a profit that you could take every day. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the detonator where you're going to do a 5 and 2 strat or a 6 and 1 strat. You're going to build that to a value, and the increase in the value in ETH is going to help get you to what you're looking for, as far as a goal, as far as what you want to make out of the system. And that's going to be, it's healthy to take that profit daily. It doesn't hurt the system at all.
Absolutely, Jesse. No doubt, bro. And again, I think it is kind of a bit of human nature. We see it with daily burst. Like over the last week, daily bursts have been going down a little bit, but over the last 2 days, daily burst has absolutely exploded, and nobody has said, why is my daily burst going up? So again, that's just human nature, and we're just here
I
to
did.
be.
I was super mad about it. I was
Yeah,
pissed.
Bull's pissed that his daily burst went up. Yeah, exactly, bro. No, but and we're gonna see the same thing with nodes. Once we start printing again, APRs are gonna jump, and everybody's gonna be, man, I wish I would have bought nodes at, when EMP was 35 cents, So
Well,
yeah.
and you know what, and listen, and that's the last thing I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, if you see the stability of our peg, man, shows really the strength of, and the health of the system that we're in, and you see how we're able to maintain where we're at. Once that loose EMP is sucked out of there, you know what I'm saying? The EMP is at a discount right now. So if you're interested in purchasing EMP to grab a node, that's fresh EMP. Not only is it going to help boost the peg, but right now you're getting a deal. Don't wait until we recovered peg and Ethereum is skyrocketing or something like that to get FOMO and want to buy later. You know what I'm saying? Now's the time to buy. I'm passing out that financial advice. You
Hell
know,
yeah.
I've Listen, I've bought nodes when I've bought gigas when they were 4,000. I bought them when they were 2. You know what I'm saying? It goes down to me. I see this. I see a sale. I'm not gonna let a good deal pass me by. So if you have a farm built and you're able to purchase a node, now's the time to purchase it. Don't wait for a recovery strategy and for the community to get together and turn around and push the price back above peg, and then you buy it, because then even if the price of Ethereum doesn't move, it's going to cost you 10% more at this point. So take them 10% savings and put that in the farm. Put that 10% savings in the farm. And
Totally.
that's my financial advice for the day, AJ.
All right, Jesse, I love it, bro. Always happy to
All right, I
have you,
love you,
man.
bro.
No doubt, brother. You too, man. And yes, that is financial advice. Right? Yeah. All right, awesome, Jesse. So yeah, again, guys and gals, we really, there's no ulterior motives here. We built the platform based on math and sustainability. And again, I mean, I'm happy to provide whatever anybody would need. Nodes is closed source. For a few reasons, mainly for security, and there's a lot of carryover with the detonator contract. But I'm happy to provide the formula that we use for the variable APR. And again, I mean, the real thing, and I think that back to full circle here, I think really the number one thing that people don't understand when it comes to nodes is that the pool balance is fed from the boardroom prints. And so once you understand that, the money has to come from somewhere, or the EMP has to come from somewhere, then you can have a much better understanding of how nodes operate. And that's even more a reason that we want to get back to PEG, to again, increase node APR, increase the price of eShare. I mean, a lot of you haven't experienced being above PEG, and it's just gonna blow your mind the amount of gains that we can have once we're there. So, like I said, the next 2 weeks are going to be very interesting. So, we're never going to announce our buybacks ahead of time, but Jesse said it perfect. If you're looking to get into the platform, or even if you're already in the platform, I mean, you're essentially getting in at a 10% discount right now, and not financial advice, but if I said, hey, you can buy Ethereum at 10% off, I mean, yes, please, would be my answer. So, all right, awesome. I have two other uh, questions. One was about bonds. We have a chart on bonds in the Telegram and on our docs page that I think will really help. And so once we finally do recover PEG, uh,
It's posted right now.
all right, thanks, Bull. It's in our Telegram right now for anybody that wants to see. But once we finally do recover PEG, you're able to redeem your bonds for a bonus. So the higher we go above 1.01, the higher bonus multiplier you get on redeeming PEG. Redeeming bonds. So again, this isn't the math, but just for easy uh, math. Say, you bought $100 worth of bonds, you're going to actually get a 10% increase in the price alone, because you're exposed to that EMP as we get closer to PEG. So again, right now at 0.9, 0.91 up to PEG, that's a 10% increase in EMP value alone. So if you're in bonds, you get that exposure, and then you're able to redeem at a higher price above 1.1 peg, to get a bonus. So say, and again, I don't know the exact math or numbers off the top of my head, but say not only are you getting that 10% increase from the price exposure, but then you get 10% more EMP by redeeming those bonds while we're that far above peg. So bonds are really double dipping in a good way, as long as you can hold out to get back above peg by a high enough margin that it gives you the bonus. So again, you are able to redeem bonds regardless without the bonus multiplier when we're above 1.01 peg. But we really want to discourage people, turning in their bonds immediately, and then we go back below peg again. So it's the long game. I mean, we have tons of use cases coming for EMP itself. So if you're selling EMP now, you're selling a discounted asset. Just holding EMP alone, once we get back to $4,000 ETH, EMP would be $1. So that alone is a 3x from where we are. So I think that, again, anybody with a long-term mindset sees the value, and we're all here to make money. But if you're looking to make a lot of money, you have to be properly allocated in the system, and just selling EMP is not the most efficient way to make money. So, yeah, Bull, you want to elaborate? Go ahead, bro.
No, I think you hit the nail right on the head, bro. Just perfect.
All right, awesome.
It's just a matter of choices, right? Make the right choice, and get those rewards. That's
Sure.
it.
All right, and we have one more question too. About the supply. So what? This is from Modern Living. He says, "What happens when, or he or she says, what happens when we reach a total supply of EMP? Right now, it's at 54 million. Or can we ever reach a total supply?" So yeah. Again, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. If you're saying 54 million, that sounds about right. Of total EMP in the system. And so, no, we are an inflationary token. Again, I think inflation is a very scary word, that we see it being a problem in the real world, but that is because governments print a fiat at an uncontrolled rate, and they use it as literally an ATM machine to just print and print and print. So here at EMP, we only print when the ecosystem is ready for it and can handle it. So our expansion rate right now is about 1% or 1.5%. So again, our total supply will expand by that amount during every boardroom print, or over 4 boardroom prints. So yeah, it would be, again, an ever increasing total supply of EMP unless we go back below PEG, and then the system doesn't print any more EMP, and the market is able to catch up, and people are able to buy EMP until we're ready to print again. And so that is why, again, I say it a lot, but it sounds very cliche, is that we all can win in the ecosystem. We're not worried about somebody buying EMP from us at a higher price to profit. That's how, 99% of other crypto projects work. But with that inflation, again, we're able to reward users with more EMP, and theoretically, as the entire ecosystem grows and crypto overall grows, those gains can be made in a very, very sustainable manner. So, yeah, anything else you're going to add to that? Bull, I know you talk about economic leakage a
Yeah.
lot, so.
Yeah, and barriers to entry, right? If EMP, the utility token or the gas for the system, was ever expanding in price, not because of it being tied to ETH, but if it was deflationary and the demand kept increasing, well, the price would keep increasing, and people wouldn't be able to get in the system and grow the economy here. So really the goal of that EMP token, right, is to hover around the price of ETH, because the price of ETH really determines sort of the economic health of the entirety of crypto. But I digress. So if we look at EMP just as that gas token, we want that to be as affordable and accessible to people as possible. And that's why the system is inflationary. And when there is more demand, the boardroom turns on and creates or prints more EMP. When there isn't enough demand, that boardroom turns off and there is no more new EMP put into supply. So when AJ talks about responsible use of inflation, it's not Jake pulling the levers, deciding when those things happen. That is a mathematical formula determines how much EMP gets put into the system based on demand. And I know Jesse has a really good explanation of this, right? It's the point is, though, that if EMP is accessible to everybody, that means more and more people can come in and build their farms, right? And that's what we want, is more people to come in and build farms and deepen that liquidity. And the great thing in a digital system is, right, where AJ mentioned economic leakage, is that there isn't all the overhead that exists in the real world to run an ecosystem, financial ecosystem. In the real world, there's a tremendous amount of overhead, and that the creation of money supply doesn't see that the people don't see the benefit of it, because it's eroded, because all of that cost or all of the benefit or the financial benefit that's created by putting money into circulation is eroded in the maintenance of that infrastructure, be it roads or R&D or having a military or police, all of these things, right? We are all indirect beneficiaries of that, but we often see the other side of it where there's inflation and we see price increase. But in a digital ecosystem like EMP, where we're owners and builders of the economy, there aren't all these gigantic overheads like building roads and R&D. And fortunately, another great thing is that the Treasury is a participant in the system, so that it's not selling your EMP or the utility to build the ecosystem. It is selling ESHARE and looking at expanding and hiring new developers or building new UIs or new contracts through profit that it takes in ESHARE. But the idea is that when EMP itself is used as the utility or the gas or the seeds, any way you want to look at it, we want as many of those people in the system as possible, and that barrier to entry to be as low as possible, because more people coming in means a better economy and more people sharing in the wealth of building an economy. Because that the benefit of inflation and building an economy in the digital space is that instead of it being eroded in the maintenance of infrastructure or the creation of new things, it's passed on to every owner in the ecosystem, which is me, you, and the 5,000 other people that own wallets here and participate in building this ecosystem. So, yeah, it's great. I mean, is that helpful? Oops.
Yeah, bro, absolutely, Bull. And there was one thing too I want to just mention real fast, which was brought up actually yesterday in another group, Chris Farrell's group, actually, about, and this is kind of a misconception of, us being below peg. Really, it's not a true measurement of market sentiment. So, in other words, the overall question was, does being below peg mean that people are not interested in EMP anymore? And that on the surface level, that would make sense, I guess. But really, it's not true in the fact that we still have over $17 million of liquidity. And so that is really what, again, is a true measurement of the health of the protocol. Because if we were losing liquidity and people were pulling out of the ecosystem and dumping their EMP, that is when, again, that argument of, man, people just aren't interested anymore, or don't see the value in what we're doing. And so that is not the case at all. I mean, if anything, our liquidity has been growing massively over the last 2 weeks. And again, it's more, even though, PEG is not necessarily reliant on the price of ETH. I mean, we've seen $2 trillion leave crypto over the last 2 months. And so that is really more of, again, even good whales or good players in our ecosystem were pulling out to, stabilize their holdings, wait for a floor. And again, not financial advice, but I think we're definitely closer to the floor. I mean, who knows? The bottom may have already happened. I mean, that's usually how it goes, is that, that the bottom happens and then you go, oh shit, man, I guess I missed the bottom. So, and that's why we always advocate for DCAing, no matter what ends up happening. So, and I think that we're going to see a lot more volume enter EMP again now that the market is stabilizing and frankly, it's looking really healthy right now. So yeah, I just, again, I want to make sure, we go over all that. So, Bull, you want to add to that at all?
Yeah, real quick, and then Home Biz Joe's got his hand up. But I'll just point out that if instead of looking at like the TVL and dollar value that we got locked, if you actually look at the amount of LP that's created, and you roll back the clock to when ETH was 3,400, we're talking, if we used ETH at that number, we would have close to $90 million in TVL. So clearly, it is a measure, like the USD, the dollar value that we see, it is deceptive, right? Because we look at that, and a lot of people look at that, and we're guilty of saying it, the liquidity in dollars and the liquidity or the TVL in dollars. But if we just simply look at the amount of LP that is created, and we use that number of 4 months ago when ETH was 3,400, or 5 months ago, I don't know the exact date, but the point is that we have so many more number or units of LP that are created, that if we looked at ETH at 3,400, we would be at like $90 million in TVL. So that USD is actually a very tricky, a benchmark or a metric to look at to determine health. I think it might be better to look at the actual LP number in growth from the beginning of this protocol to now,
For sure.
and then maybe forecasting to the future about where ETH is headed and what that LP is going to be worth. So I think that's just like where a lot of times we mention that charts can lie, and in crypto that USD number can not necessarily lie, but it's a little bit deceptive about really the health of the ecosystem. Now, 27 million TVL, amazing. The liquidity is super high, and I know that everybody that I talk to is amazed at the liquidity we have. But if you just you talked about that metric of being the 22nd largest holder of ETH on all of BNB Chain, and BNB Chain is huge. And if you go and look at the wallets that are ahead of us, they're Binance Hot Wallets, Pancake Swap, and so that's a really serious number, that amount of ETH that is held in this system and owned by all the owners of this ecosystem. So yeah, once again, hats off to everybody. Awesome job.
Yeah, Bull, you took the words out of my mouth, bro. I was about to just reference that amazing milestone. I mean, again, within our ecosystem, the LPs alone, we have about 5,500 Ethereum. That's 5,500 ETH in our ecosystem, and that is only on one side of the LP. Again, the other side is EMP, but it's just so massive when you truly wrap your head around what we've done here. It's like a Pac-Man just gobbling up all the ETH on BNB chain, within our protocol. And again, that's all users owning that liquidity as well. So yes, Detonator owns about 4 million bucks of that, but all the rest is all user-owned liquidity. So it's really, really bullish. And then there was one last thing, and then we can get to HomeBiz. I've completely had a mind blank though. What were you just saying, Bull? Maybe you can refresh my memory.
Number 2022 on the list, USD value, LP growth, and number of units.
So yeah, I guess basically what Bull said about TVL being an actual dollar value. I mean, if we apply that same concept in TVL, when ETH gets back to 3 or 4 grand, I mean, we would have about 30 million in total liquidity. And so, that's what it was. So liquidity is a double-edged sword, and I know you probably heard me say this a few times in the AMAs. And so the larger liquidity that we have, the harder it is to recover peg. So that's why some of these other protocols have been able to stay above peg without any issues, because they have $1 million in liquidity. I mean, one buy of 10 grand pushes the peg by 0.1. Like, it's just insane. So it is a double-edged sword in that respect. However, it's a double-edged sword the other way, because if once we finally do recover peg, and then we have a massive liquidity backing up that peg, we're able to maintain peg a lot easier as well. So if a whale wants to exit the protocol, it doesn't dump the peg to 0.8. Like it's super healthy on that side too. So all right, we have HomeBiz Joe, I think, right? Or Joe, go ahead, Joe. You first. Both
real quick.
All right, both Joes. Yeah, go ahead.
AJ and Bull, you just made me think of something. When we're talking about all this liquidity and how it's just amazing how much Ethereum we hold and the position we're in on Binance Smart Chain and how liquidity makes or breaks an ecosystem. And yeah, it's that liquidity that prevented us from dumping below 0.8. I mean, when you think about it, we held 80% peg through the worst times this year. And that's because of our liquidity. If we didn't have that, we would fall victim to so many other tomb forks and projects that just dumped below 50%, and some were below 20%. So I kind of think of it like Bo was saying, build our kingdom. And really, it's like a castle. And back in the medieval times when you had a castle, the kings that could afford to have a bigger moat around the castle were the ones that were better protected. And having that moat is like our liquidity. So every time we...
Bro, have you been watching my YouTube channel?
No, why? Did you talk about that?
Yeah, I have a video specifically why castles have walls and moats and drawbridges.
Amazing. Great minds thinking alike,
I think,
right?
I think it's just a high IQ factor. We're on the same wavelength.
Totally.
But yeah, so every time we have LPs, it's like digging that trench and making the moat bigger and wider and more protective against the enemy. And of course, when you have a bigger moat, what does that mean? It takes more water to fill it. So that double-edged sword that AJ is talking about is it does take work to fill up that moat to protect us. But if you had a bathtub-sized moat, that would also drain just as fast. So it works both ways. I'd rather have a bigger moat that takes longer to build, that can hold more water, that can protect us when it's most needed. And if the most we fell was 80%, that's not bad at all. And I realize it's taking a little bit longer than we would like, but we are holding amazingly well. And it's just a matter of time until we get there. And once we do fill that moat and we're back at 1.01 or 1.1, it's going to be really hard for anyone to take action to, get us below it. So yeah, big things are coming.
Totally. And again, we've used this time below peg to really build, the everybody's core positions. Those of you that have stuck around and been here, you have a much larger ownership of the protocol now. And so again, it mitigates those bad actors that just want to dump EMP. I mean, we've seen large eShare whales completely exit the protocol, and now all those eShares are much more spread out among more diamond-handed users that know how to play the ecosystem. They know how to stabilize our economy, and then that means there's more printing for all of us. So yeah, amazing stuff. Again, I'm so bullish on the next 6 months. Our last 6 months were amazing, and the next 6 months are going to be even better. So go ahead, Homebiz. Sorry, brother, we've been pushing you off. Homebiz Joe.
No problem, AJ. Hope all is well.
Yes, brother, you too. Hopefully you have been doing a little better. I know you were a little bit down about your little doggy, man. I sent you a picture of my dog, so hopefully you're feeling better, brother.
Yes, I'm getting there. Thank you.
Awesome.
I just wanted to bring up. See, in my mind, I have a simplistic view of the ecosystem, its own economy. When you talked earlier about inflation, and see if I'm right. This is my simplistic view. Back in the day when Nixon took us off the standard, where they had to be backed by something, our standard here would be Ethereum, so that it only prints EMP when there's the Ethereum to back it, as opposed to back in the day with the US dollar and how it had to be backed by either gold or silver. And now we just get robbed because they just print all the money for no reason or any reason at all.
For sure.
So is that kind of a simplistic? Do I kind of get the simplistic concept?
Yeah, brother.
Of,
No, I'm impressed. I mean, you've been learning along the way with us. I know it's very cutting edge DeFi and economics, but yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say that is not entirely true is that the system prints more EMP depending on how much ETH is backing it. That the printing part is purely relates to the amount of EMP that's bought. So again, in a sub, to get super technical, what you said as far as printing is not necessarily the case, but 100% what you said about ETH backing EMP. So yeah, we don't have a military or a made-up token that has nothing backing it, like traditional fiat currencies or.
Oh, but we got a bunch of warriors. We got a lot of warriors here, though.
That's true. We do.
And we have an army.
We do. We do have an army. That's true. Holy shit, you're right, Bull. You just blew my mind. So I guess we do have an army. So yeah, that does definitely give value to the protocol. But yeah, I mean, to what you said for sure, Joe. Once we do recover PEG, again, printing is based on that ratio of EMP to ETH. But 100%, we have an actual asset backing that EMP. So that's why we can say that we are truly fractionalized Ethereum, because the way that liquidity pool works is that it will always try to balance the value of EMP and ETH, always giving that the backed asset. So yeah, absolutely, Joe.
Got it. All right. I'll let you get back to business. Thanks so much.
All right. Awesome, brother. I love it, man. thanks for always showing up. And Homebiz has been with us for a long time, and he's had an awesome journey. It gets me excited when, we call it the light bulb moment. I know a lot of you have had it already, where you finally, after months and months of, or weeks or whatever, hours of really diving into the protocol, you have that aha moment where you really realize, holy shit, this is very powerful when used correctly. What did I say? With great power comes great responsibility. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people have had that moment. If you have not had that moment yet, keep at it. Ask questions. Show up to the AMAs every day. Get one of our army generals to hold your hand a bit with the ecosystem. They give you a personalized approach to our ecosystem, and then you really can understand, wow, how powerful, EMP really is. So, all right, Bull, we're gonna jump into Detonator. Anything real fast before I jump in?
No, man, let's roll.
All right, so we got about 5 minutes left. We're running a little bit close today, but this was an awesome discussion earlier and all that we've been over. But this is Detonator. This is our daily ROI contract. You deposit EMP ETH LP, you get back 365% over time. The APR is anywhere from about 0.6 to 0.8% daily. You also get instant rewards, which we've seen already with a snipe of about 174 LP. We had another deposit about 54 LP earlier, so we've already gotten a lot of volume today as it is. So a portion of those deposits go to your instant rewards. And if you're compounding rather than claiming, you get an additional 20%, or you save 20% tax on your printable compounding, and that's the beauty of compound interest, and why we always say to compound more than you claim, and you can actually ROI faster doing it that way. But we have 90,103 LP in the contract. That's about $4.3 million, with again ETH looking very healthy overall. 3,560 total users in Detonator alone. That can easily get to 30, 40, 50,000 users over the next few months. And with this, we also give away 1% of our overall pool to the largest depositor of the day. We call those our snipers. And again, the largest deposit right now is 174, about 8,000 bucks. We should see about we'll see. I mean, that might win. We don't know. So again, that's a beautiful part of our game theory, and why we say always make your first shot your best shot. And then we also have our lottery. So, Bull, you're the lottery expert. So go ahead, bro. What's our lottery?
Okay, man. The lottery can be won with tickets. There's a maximum of 50 tickets through deposit, 50 through compound, but only one wins. So every single ticket has the exact same statistical chance to win. So the only thing that we can guarantee is if you don't play, you'll never win. But we never know who's going to win from day to day with that random ticket, because while stage A is the Willy Wonka of DeFi, giving away this incredible lottery with the golden ticket, we don't know where that golden ticket is until right after the rollover, because the wizard Jake has created this amazing contract that randomly picks it. And so every day, two people in this in the Detonator are going to get life-changing money. And the great thing is if you aren't one of those two people, you're still earning that 365 ROI over the length of the time. And probably turning you from paper hands into diamond hands. And you're going to be so thankful that, that this is a lock contract in case you win the lottery, or when ETH goes to $4,000 and that the LP is 100, and you look at your balance and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And sustainability is the key here. So everybody just keep doing what you're doing, like, share, subscribe, tell people about the Detonator, get more people in here, and just keep growing and feeding the beast.
I love it, man. Man, that's a mic drop, Bull. We can just end the stream right here with a minute
1
left.
minute.
Yeah, exactly. No, so absolutely. And yeah, we say lottery because it's easy for people to understand, but it truly is a giveaway. And as long as you're depositing, you're getting credit and able to earn in our ecosystem. So, all right, here we go. 1 minute, like Bull said. Make sure you're compounding. Again, we always recommend to compound.
229.
And oh, here it comes. So the snipers are out.
Yeah.
229 already. We'll see if that holds up. Again, you don't want to wait too long because if you wait too long to go for a snipe, sometimes the blockchain can lag and your deposit is applied to the next day. So again, make your first shot your best shot, but you may be able to get a good deal. If 229 holds up, that's a $10,000 deposit winning 43,000. So pretty incredible. All right, here we go. 20 seconds. Good luck, everyone. If you are the winner of the lottery or the largest, we'd love to hear from you and celebrate with you.
645.
All right,
645.
645. It's coming in. We're coming in hot and fast. 784. Holy shit! Another snipe. 5 seconds left.
Oh!
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 784. Holy hell! Oh, fireworks.
10,000 tickets. 10,000 tickets.
All right.
First time.
A first time, largest
Wow.
ticket count to date. Over 10,000 tickets. Pretty incredible. This is our largest day yet, it seems. Let me go ahead and do a refresh.
Beast.
Man, I don't know if somebody can chime in that was looking at the on-chain data. What were the snipes there? We saw some fireworks for sure.
Yeah, I know we had the 275 and we had a 645, a 784. So yeah, I'm still looking, but quite a few.
All right, well we'll post
Good
that
stuff.
in the chat. We can see. But yeah, it was definitely looks like a five deposit snipe. And again,
Oh
pretty
yeah.
amazing.
Look at Cool's on it. Daily burst 30% higher today than yesterday.
There you go.
That's right.
Yes, daily burst is popping off. Again, when we see all that volume, the daily burst really starts to go up. Again, and if you're compounding, you're getting a 20% savings from the taxes anyway. So a new all-time high pool balance of 92,573 LP. That's $4.4 million. Literally 100 grand entered the contract within the last 10 minutes here. Detonator just continues to outperform everything, especially during this uncertain market times. But as we recover, like Bull mentioned right before the rollover, turning diamond paper hands into diamond hands. As long as you're in Detonator, you still have exposure to Ethereum because it's an LP pool. So you're actually able to ROI much faster, and your daily burst of 0.6% or 0.8% a day could be 2 or 3 times that amount, well over 1% a day in dollar value when ETH recovers. Again, not if, but when ETH recovers. So man, what a day, Bull. Again, all-time high pool balance, both LP and dollar value, the most tickets ever contributed today. So again, that's another reason why you want to maximize all your tickets to have a chance at that lottery. And so tomorrow it looks like we're going to be giving away almost $45,000 twice. So again, that's 90 grand that we're giving away every single day here at EMP and in the Detonator. And we're able to give those incredible rewards because you're not able to claim that winning and dump on all of our heads. You're actually able to use that to ROI 365 on the winnings alone. So that again is so powerful and really helps the sustainability of Detonator. So man, Bull, I'm already out of breath. Today was a doozy, but every time we have the Detonator rollover, I get fired up all over again. This is our crypto game show that I love tuning into every day, brother. So, any other last comments or anything you want to go over before we wrap it up?
like we should all be excited about this, right? This is everything that people want and crave in the real world, is the ability to make choices, make decisions, and have an impact and have your voice heard. All of the good things of the world, right? That got ported in here by the people that built crypto and had this idea. And so that's the great thing about crypto, is that it's a new world. We can shape this in any way that we want. So let's import all the good stuff, the hope, the positivity, the constructiveness, the helpfulness, all the things that we know are good qualities in the physical world. We can bring those in here. We can build a better space. And once we're empowered here, we port that out, and we can change things, in the physical world, and show people like, hey, look, and just to talk about like regulation, not to be a buzzkill, but the point is when we become educated and experts in this space, because everybody that's here is special for a lot of reasons, but one specifically that I'm going to point out is that we are in the 1% of the 1% of the 1%, and that doesn't mean that we're the 1% elite that is really damaging the world. But we are elite in that we're here, we are on the cutting edge, we are learning, we know terms, we know things that other people in the real world would really, I don't want to say kill to know, but yes, they would, and that's what makes you special, is that when you educate yourself, you empower yourself in this space, you can help shape the regulation that's coming to this space, so long as you know this space inside and out, because there are very few people in the physical world that know this stuff, because the amount of people in DeFi is really small, and the people on the edges of DeFi are even smaller. But the point is the time that you take to invest in yourself here and educate yourself, you can actually turn that into a career both in this space and in the physical world. So take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of you to learn from all of the amazing people here, and create a bridge, so to speak, from crypto to the real world, and help shape regulation, or at least at the very least help shape crypto, and put it in a better light than how normies see it. So we like AJ was saying, and Uncle Ben says, not the rice guy, but with great power comes great responsibility, and everybody here, we do have the chance right now to shape regulation for the future, which is really going to shape what this space looks like in 5 years or 10 years. So don't say I didn't have a chance, I didn't have a voice, my vote, so to speak, didn't matter. Everything that you do here matters. You matter, your voice matters. So educate yourself, and empower yourself, and port that out to the real world, and shape this to be a better space.
Amazing, Bull. Another mic drop moment from our very own Bull Gates. We affectionately call him our crypto dad, because he's always giving us such valuable knowledge and words of wisdom, especially when we wrap it up on these AMAs. I'm honored to have you as my co-host, Bull. I appreciate all that you do for our community, for crypto as a whole, and the last 6 months have been great, and the next 6 months together are going to be awesome as well. Again,
Yes, sir.
I share all the sentiment that you do. I think we're all lucky to be here. I know a lot of people say EMP is their first project. I mean, my God, if I had this opportunity 7 years ago when I first got into crypto, learning from some of the most brightest people in crypto, the ins and outs, have the ability to answer or ask questions and learn, I mean, I would have saved myself hundreds and thousands of dollars, and that alone is worth getting involved in EMP and being here. And so all right, another amazing day in Detonator. Again, thanks for all the help, Bull. Shout out to all of you in the community, our Army members, our VIP group, and the community as a whole for helping EMP become one of the best projects in crypto. And we're just getting started. So Detonator is continuing to be the absolute Terminator, in the words of DeFi Proof at the beginning of our intro. our intro song. I love that part of it. We're killing everything in our path. No matter what the chain is, no matter what the ROI contract is, Detonator is the true Terminator. Just gobbling up LP every single day, and in turn giving an amazing earning potential to all of you that are in Detonator. So, all right. On that note, I'm going to wrap it up. Again, it's been a long day for all of us. We're burning a candle at both ends. We do have a tentative launch date of the new UI, July 27th. That's 1 week from today. So get ready for that and get ready for our PEG recovery and again, the overall market to hopefully continue to show signs of life. So, all right, good night.
AJ, did you want to end on that? Did you want to end on that stat?
Yes,
Did
no,
you
I'll
see
let you.
it?
I did, LA. I'll let you do the honors. You tell everybody, please.
No, you throw it out there, man. That's all you.
Yeah. So there were so many stats in that article. Again, if anybody hasn't read it yet, please go back and look at it. It's our Medium article. But yeah, there was a few, LA. What one do you think is most bullish? I don't know.
So Charlie helped us calculate this yesterday, but so the average monthly pool balance growth over the last 5 months has been 82%. It's crazy.
Amazing. Yes, absolutely. So, and then there was also another amazing statistic that we've given away over $2.5 million after the last 2 days. That's more like 2.6 or 2.7 because we're literally giving almost 100 grand a day away in our lottery rewards alone. That doesn't include the rewards that the contract has generated. If you look at again on our homepage, there's been $20 million that has gone through the contract over the last 5 months. So pretty bullish. Again, yeah, there was about 10 different stats in that article, LA, that you wrote. So shout out to all of you for
Hey,
putting that
AJ.
together. Yep. Yeah, go ahead, Bull.
Wouldn't it be amazing if the Detonator had more than just 2 winners? I mean, that would be sick.
That would be sick. I like where your head's at, man. I don't know. Maybe that might have something to do with some upgrades that we're making to Detonator. So shout out to all of you, the 40 or 50 of you that stuck around to the very end of our AMA. That might be some alpha for you. We have a lot of really cool, again, they're not changes because Detonator is pretty damn amazing the way it is, but we have a lot of upgrades to Detonator that we think can even make it that much more powerful. So yeah, Bull, you never know, man. You're a pretty smart guy, so maybe that is the case. We'll just have to see. Again, after the UI, we'll be doing a dedicated article and update on the Detonator changes and how it will just make Detonator even more powerful. The upgrades, right? Upgrades. So yeah, Bull.
Yes, friend. Do you have time for one question? I see an Army member had their hand raised.
Yeah, totally. We can do one more. Go ahead.
I'll apologize to your wife in advance because I'm sure dinner's waiting
I
for
know,
you.
yeah, man, that's true. No doubt. She'll be all right. Go ahead.
JD, did you have your hand raised, buddy? Maybe it was erroneous.
All right.
Okay, take her away, AJ.
All right, no worries, guys. Yep, we'll whoever it was or anybody that we didn't get to your questions, please feel free to rate them and we'll save them for tomorrow, or DM any of the admins and they'll save it for me for tomorrow. But yeah, another incredible day. Again, Detonator just absolutely killing it. EMP killing it, and the next 3 weeks are going to be very bullish for many, many reasons. So please like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. Share these videos out. We really want to get our YouTube account up, and these AMAs are a perfect way to introduce someone into EMP and give them the opportunity to ask questions and learn our ecosystem. So, all right, on that note, good night, good day. We'll see you tomorrow.